try to clarify it. What is the difference between emancipation and liberation?
Um, the difference between emancipation and liberation.
Yeah.
Emancipation is a concept of something that was given, something that was given as a like to say like the institution of slavery. It lasted itself, and certain people had an epiphany that it wasn't a moral thing to do, so they decided to emancipate their slaves or the people that they had captive. Where liberation is is something that was liberation is something that not only is inherent, but it's something that was taken, like taken by fighting for, you know. Like
Force.
I often say, like every inch, every inch that I have, and our ancestors fought for it. It wasn't given, but it seems to
Exactly.
be. Yeah, yes, I. That was how I would say would be the difference. Yes, I.
And you know, to follow up what I was saying, we could find examples. For example, we can say the Haitians never
Exactly.
fought for any emancipation. The Haitians
Yeah.
achieved their liberation,
Yes.
and we have to use that as a comparison between what the Haitians did and what has happened to the black man in the general Western world. You know,
Yes. Yes.
and the model is there for liberation. You know, but I think we are more conditioned to still being subservient. We're still conditioned to be dependent, and that cycle need to change by changing maybe how we use the language. Because the language is what they give us, you know. And if we can't
Right.
use it properly, we're going to always be trapped.
Right.
So one of the things we have to work out really is the different ways liberation express itself. We can even go to chemistry, you know,
Hmm.
and look at the electrons. That electrons can be liberated to create new matter.
Right.
You know, it's something that is a word that we don't use often in our own discourse. We talk about free, but what is free? Is
What
there
is
anything
free?
that is free?
No. Everything works according to certain principles. Everything works according to certain laws. Everything has a reaction. Everything has a causality to it. Nothing
Well,
just happens randomly, even though it seems to be random. But everything is, you know,
yeah.
so everything is aligned. Nothing is actually free that way.
And there is an idea now that we have been told that freedom. We have been
Right.
introducing the idea to freedom now.
Hmm.
And a Rastaman will tell you that there is no consciousness in being dumb and free.
Right. It's a misnomer. They don't go together.
So I keep saying to the idea, it's a language we have to get around. Roman language and create our own expression now through our own black thinking.
Yes.
So the liberation is also one aspect, but the other thing Josh mentioned now was of the mind, of the
Right.
pigmented mind. Now, maybe Josh can help it out here. How do we conceptualize the mind? If
Hmm.
we're trying to liberate something, we have to have an idea what it is.
Yeah,
So we need some definitions. We have to create our definitions then of the mind. What is the mind to the African? What is the mind to the Rastaman? What does it mean to lose your mind? What does it mean to have somebody control your mind? Where do we locate the mind in our black structure? Where is the mind?
Where's the mind seated?
Yes. Because
Is
how do
the
we liberate something that we don't know where it is?
right? Is the mind is the mind the brain?
All right, that's a good
Or is the
starting
mind
point.
different? Is the mind separate from the brain? Is the mind internal or is it external?
Wonderful questions, my brethren.
Hmm.
Wonderful questions. Because this is how we have to probe to interrogate our own makeup.
Right.
You know? Because we talk about emancipate ourselves from mental slavery. We know the cliche.
Right.
But we have been singing that for so long and nothing has really changed at a certain level.
Yes.
So perhaps we have to revisit what these words really mean. So, for example, now when you say mind, the African always spoke about spirit. Is there a
Yeah.
difference? Is there a difference between your mind and your spirit?
Hmm.
You know, and where are these things situated? And do we have a soul?
I know. I
So
mean,
these are aspects. You know, the European world has given us these terms